Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this week's episode we are taking a trip from New York City Penn Station to Washington DC Union Station. As a first-time visitor to the US and a transport geek, the obvious thing to do is of course the train. There are two options getting from New York to Washington. First of all, the TGV lookalike, the Acela Express, and the Northeast Regional train, which we took. Later in the video I will explain why we chose the Northeast Regional over the Acela and why the Acela might not be the best option. So let's get into the trip. We are in New York City, of course, in Midtown, starting our day at Times Square. The Penn Station is just a 10-minute walk along the 7th Avenue. From there we took the side entrance to the Long Island Railroad. This might not be the direct way to the Amtrak trains, and you don't get to see the beautiful entrance hall of the Penn Station, but it will get you to the Amtrak tracks. Just keep straight ahead.
Doch, beim ersten, jedes Morgen.
And there is our shiny ride of the day, the Northeast Regional train towards Washington DC.
Ja, kannst du noch.
England ist ja wie in Deutschland. Aber.
So let's talk a bit about the price. I booked this trip 2 months in advance and paid $31 per person. And if you ever planning on taking a train in the US, I strongly recommend you book as early as you can, because the pricing is absolutely madness. Let me give you an example. If you would book today for a ride exactly 2 months ahead, you would get the same deal as I did. $31 from New York City to Washington DC. On the same day, an Acela train would cost $155 per person. This is exactly 5 times more expensive than the regional train, and it's only 30 minutes faster. And if you want to book spontaneous for the same day, it gets really mad. The regional train would cost you $183, and the Acela would even cost $337 in business class and a whopping $509 in the first class for a distance of 230 miles. Let's take this to Europe as an example. For $500 I could hop on a train right now and ride 1,700 miles to Palermo, the tip of Italy, in first class. And for the $300 I could have dinner in London tonight. So you see, that's the reason why we chose Northeast Regional over the Acela Express. But not let's get carried away. Every transport geek in the world has to take the train when they are in the US. It's just a unique experience. So let's look at the seat. The seats are very comfortable and do recline a bit. There are power outlets, but the legroom on this 4-seat sections is pretty bad. I cannot imagine how 4 adults or even a family with 2 kids can sit comfortable over 2 to 3 hours. To compare that, these are 4-seat sections on German trains. Speaking of German trains, Amtrak is operating 70 electric locomotives based on the Siemens Vectron. Unfortunately, I couldn't see what was pulling us, but the chances are really high that this was a Siemens Vectron. But now let's enjoy a bit of the views along the route from New York to Washington. Oh, and before I forget, there is Wi-Fi on the Northeast Regional train, but it didn't get approval from my 9-year-old internet expert. And here we are 3 hours later. We're pulling into Union Station in Washington, D.C. I have to say this was a great experience. Despite the legroom, the seats are very comfortable, the ride itself is very smooth, and the conductor must have been the friendliest conductor I've ever seen on a train. He had a smile for everyone, he had a chat with everyone on board, he was just spreading a really good mood. So, to summarize it, I would take the Northeast Regional train from New York to Washington every time. But I think Amtrak or the US government have to figure out a way to get better prices on this route. Because in my opinion, the most environmentally friendly way to get around should be the cheapest to get more and more people out of their cars and the planes onto the trains.
Have a good day. Watch your step. Have a good day. Watch your step. Have a good day. Watch your step. Have a good day. Everybody have a good day.
I hope this video was somehow interesting or helpful to you. I'd love to hear your opinion on pricing at Amtrak. Am I too stingy or do you feel the same way? Let me know in the comments down below. Next week on this channel we are doing the route in reverse, but not on a train. We are taking Flixbus USA. So subscribe to the channel and hit that bell so you don't miss out on this special experience. Anyway guys, have a great week, stay safe, stay healthy, I see you in the next one, bye bye.